back. So inside the list, product list item TypeScript file right here, and let's just actually go and change that a little bit, because last lesson we talked about subscriptions. Now, there are other ways to do this. Let's say we don't want these subscriptions in here because it's a mess to kind of remember to destroy them every time. So let's just get rid of the subscription, and let's get rid of the ng on destroy down here. There we go. So now we cleaned up, so we're back to what we had before. But again, I promised you that we needed to do an unsubscribe whenever we call a subscription. So what we can actually do is, the second solution is going to be a pipe. Now a pipe, think of that as a way for us to get into the observable and do certain things. So we can kind of send information to the observable before the subscribe is even called. So we can start defining things like, how many times do I want to get data from an observable, and then stop listening automatically. And that's what we're going to do this lesson. But you could also tap into the data and do something with the data before the data gets into this method. You could also map the data and convert it into something else. And there's a lot of other things you can do, and we'll get back to those slowly as we move into our development, especially when we get to security. I'll show you a few cool things you can do with observables and pipes. So this pipe right here, what we want to do is we want to explain to the system that we want to take, and we just want to take one single message, and then we want to stop listening. So this take here can decide how long you want to listen, and every time data is sent back to us will be a count. So it'll call next, and we'll know that every time it sends data back to us, we want to do something. In this case, if I put 3, I would listen for 3 replies from the backend, and then I would stop listening. But in this case, we know we only want one single reply from the backend, and then we want to stop listening. So this is actually the same solution as the one I showed you in the beginning of the lesson and the last lesson right here. So what's the other solution we could do? We could also go crazy and say we don't even want to use this at all. We want to start using the observable directly inside our HTML code. I think that's the best solution in my mind, and that's Angular made a pipe. And not to get into pipes, but they're pretty amazing. We have filtering pipes, we have pipes that we can use to convert to JSON, we have great pipes out there, and I'll show you how to use one right now. So we'll get rid of all of this code right here, and we'll just keep the getAll method. We'll take that and put it into one called products and $sign. So I'm putting $signs in the end right here, and that's kind of the Angular way to explain that this is going to be an observable. So notice again, I'll just put that, create this field right here, and I just want you guys to notice that the difference between what we had before and what we have now is actually that this is actually an observable right here. It's not just a list of product DTOs, it's actually an observable containing product DTOs, and it can still be undefined, so we need to explain that. There we go, now we have undefined right here, and that's how we can now actually directly put in our observable into a local variable right here that we can use. I removed the private because then I can use it in the HTML. So now I don't need this guy anymore, I'll just get rid of it. I only need the observable now, and look how simple my component code is now, right? We don't have any undestroy, we don't have any unsubscribe, we don't have anything. We just have the observable available right here, so we can use it now directly in our HTML. So let's jump into our HTML and use it. So I'll jump into the HTML, I'll hide this. Now of course my ngIf will fail right now because it says I don't know this. So what you can do is you can put in a $sign right here, and now it knows there's an observable now, not a products list, but an observable with a products list inside it. Now what we can do is we can use the pipe now, and then we can write async, and this means that asynchronously I want to subscribe to this guy. And automatically behind the scenes, it sets up on destroy, I don't want to listen anymore. So this kind of did the same that our code did last lesson, but now it does it with this single line of code right here. And that's very amazing. So now we have a way for us to start listening when the component is created, and when the component is destroyed, automatically it stops listening just with this single line of code right here. We can add some more stuff because we still need access to the products right here, and one other cool thing you can use is you can say, I want, when you kind of get the list of products right here, I want you to convert that into another property right here, and we'll just call that products. So now what happens is it says, when I've loaded the products for you, I'll automatically take those products in the subscription and put them into this list called products right here, and then you can use that list inside the code right here. So that's the async pipe, and the way we can use that in order to kind of take the list of products from here when we get them and put them into a local property right here called products. And that's just a list of products, so we can just use it like we did before. So with this code right here, we actually changed our code into being more protected compared to memory. So let's just end the lesson right here. Next lesson, we'll just talk a little bit about how we can use a template to get like a loading screen or something to ensure that we are loading the components while they're getting from that async call to our actual front end right here. So let's end the lesson. Now you know a little bit about the async pipe and how you can use that to avoid memory leaks in observables. Bye bye.